Defense made a motion for a mistrial. Prosecutor was up to some fuckery. Potentially damaging evidence, no basis for it. The judge specifically said, do not ask that question. Do not use that as evidence. She walked right down the path and asked the question. It may be over on Tuesday morning. Batman Bruce Wayne bitch snitch. Gerald Brooks, your constitution does not apply to me because I'm a sovereign citizen, a traveler on the land, I'm the Moorish Empire or whatever, bitch snitch. Because they're so fucking absurd. If you want to be a sovereign citizen, just do yourself a favor first. Go to YouTube here and just get every sovereign citizen that's ever been before. Find me one that won. God dang, you're right. Don't go down this. It's not the path. Don't have time for stupidity. Some clever dick on the internet didn't find the great loophole in all of the world's law. Bitch snitch. God dang, you're right. God dang, you're right. Traveler on the land. God dang, you're right. Moorish Empire. Traveler on the land. Bitch snitch. Moorish Empire. God dang, you're right. Traveler on the land. Bitch snitch. Late evening U.S. people. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you are doing, I am glad you are here. Welcome to Legal Vices. That's this little old channel with me, your host, Legal Vices, the channel where law meets life, and we dissect the cases that grip the world, from the high-profile cases that dominate headlines to the hidden little gems that you've never heard of. I'm here to break them down in ways that are engaging, hopefully enlightening, and occasionally maybe a little bit irrelevant too. Irreverent was the word I was looking for, and hopefully entertaining. But whether it's the headline-making courtroom dramas, the shocking criminal trials, the legal battles that shape our everyday lives, or just anything else that comes our way, we break down the facts, the legal twists, the shocking developments, the jaw-dropping moments that you need to know. Ready to deep dive into the world of crime, justice, and controversy? Well, it's going to be a wild ride, so buckle up. Today is day 1 and day 2 of the LEILANI Simon trial. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, because we are your front row seat to the most gripping stories on the internet right now with me, the world's preeminent lawfluencer on YouTube, Legal Vices. Hi, everybody. All right, we got that all out of our system. Now, the world at large is now sorted themselves out time zone wise. The U.S. was the last of the game. We had the Aussies; they adjusted their time a while ago. The folks in the U.K., basically around Europe area, they adjusted themselves about a week ago, and the U.S. finally got with the program and adjusted themselves. So this will be our time for the next 6 months. This wherever you happen to be, this will be the time frame that we handle our shows in for the next 6 months. It's still and always will be 10 o'clock p.m. here in Korea, because Korea doesn't do that silly daylight savings, summertime, standard time stuff. It just is 10 p.m. all year round. So thank you very much for being here. It's now we're all an hour early, so I expect more people on the replay crew. But today may be the end of an era. It may be the end of an era, or it may be the beginning of something special. What am I getting at? Well, today, Today is day 49 of the Emotional Support Potato Pig Dog Cam. Will we end it here? Will we end the streak after 49 days of unleashing the Emotional Support Potato Pig Dog achievement? Or will we take this into another era, another half century, if you will? Will we move into day 50 of the Emotional Support Potato Pig Dog Cam? It's entirely up to you. If you are so inclined, we shall unlock the achievement at the appropriate time. If not, it'll end here and it'll die, and we will start together with never mind. It's over already. Damn it. I just get uncomfortable. All right. Ladies and germs, boys and girls, children of all ages, and other things we can't say at Disneyland anymore. We just got here. I was in the middle of giving my speech about take it or leave it with the Emotional Support Potato Pig Dogs, and straight out of the gate, Sonny or Chris drops 20 Legal Vices memberships. Oh, good morning, world. Good evening to some of you in the world. But if you are one of the people that is getting one of these gifted memberships as we speak, that is scrolling by as I'm watching, make sure you give Sonny or Chris a super, super special thanks for doing that. And thank you very much, brother, for sharing with everybody. I do not have the typical shot lined up because today I'm feeling a little bit classy. We're having a little bit of wine today, if you don't mind. So cheers and thank you very, very much. The Sarah Boone. I hadn't had wine in ages because of the Sarah Boone trial, but now I do. And in case you're wondering, if you happen to be able to get your hands on a for all you Australians, Australians probably know, if you can get your hands on this fine Australian wine, this is a Shiraz, the Two Hands Angel Share Shiraz is a fantastically bright and fruity, yet also kind of dry wine. It's one of my go-to faves. Quite enjoy it. The Australians make some good wines, and that happens to be one of them. The Two Hands Angel Share is fantastic. Okay, thank you so much. You get a double foghorn. Boom. There you go. Thank you so much. This 49-day thing up here, it's now out of the picture faster and in quicker time than it took me to actually make it. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have already achieved day 50 of the Emotional Support Potato Pig Dog Cam, and single-handedly, because of Sonny or Chris, we get to issue the command to
release the hose.
And from the get-go, we introduce our Emotional Support Potato Pig Dogs, Yoda, and Strawberry is wandering around somewhere. Wandering towards the camera. So we will have that on Yoda until Strawberry decides to come out from underneath the desk. Yoda, you're confused. You can go back to sleep. We're just here to look at you and feel your emotional support emanations. Oh, there we go. There we go. We can double them up here for a bit. There we go. Strawberry and Yoda. All right, everybody, thank you very, very much. And we need it for this trial. This trial is a terrible, terrible trial, and we've only got through the opening statements and one witness, I guess. But we're going to pick it up. And before we do, we have the like and the subscribe goal here today. Well, it's not really a goal, it's a poll. The like and subscribe poll, which is, why are you watching this trial? Why are you watching this trial? It didn't get a lot of press and publicity. I've been wanting to cover it for the last 2 years, and it just so happened that it started on the same day Sarah Boone did. So we deferred to Sarah Boone, and we're picking this up on the replay crew. Like, subscribe, and vote. Why are you watching this trial? Because you're showing it. Because of the subject matter. Because you're a trial junkie, or because of prosecutor smoke show. Those are your options. And yeah, we have a bit of simping going on for the prosecutor in chat, I've noticed. There we go. Anyway, folks, it sounds weird to say this, but this is your respite. This is your safe space from American politics. Thankfully, I will be working in my office, unable to look at or I mean unable to participate in any of the election stuff going on, because all the polls will close just about the time I start my work, and so I'm completely outside of it. So guarantee we will not have election coverage here today, tomorrow, Wednesday, any other time in the foreseeable future, because time. So this is your safe space. If you want to get away from it all, you are welcome here all day, every day. Thank you so much for everything. I think we can get into this trial here now. No reason to delay this any further. We've just finished up with one of the officers that was on scene. The old gentleman's like, hey, I just did my job. And the prosecutor was fantastic. And the defense lawyer was trying to call the police tactics into question by suggesting that they had too many police officers on scene to search for a missing 20-month-old boy. He also tried to somehow make it seem improper that the police had a PR spokesperson on site to handle PR related issues in the search for a 20-month-old child. He came across looking like a bit of a dick, I must say. But let's see how he handles the next witness, because we are going straight to the courtroom right now. Let's boost this up and get the show on the road. We'll be watching at a 1.25 speed. We have subtitles and super chats as they come in. If they come in, will just be brought up as normal during trials, when we have some breaks, when there's a pause, when nothing's happening, or just when we need to take a break from the horrors of the testimony. And without further ado, as they say in Canada, let's rock, shall we? Hey, Sebastian Muller, good to see you, brother. All right, me and the emotional support potato pig dogs bring you day 2. First of all, day 1.2 and day 2.1 of the LEILANI Simon murder trial, Georgia. She's charged with 19 crimes relating to the death of her 20-month-old toddler that was basically chucked in a dumpster. She said she was throwing away stinky old shrimp pasta that was smelling up her car, when in fact it was her son, allegedly. Let's go.
Okay, the state may call its next witness.
Cody, Jeffson.
That's our defendant, LEILANI Simon, who I believe now is 24 years old. So she would, if I remember correctly, that would make her 22 at the time the crimes were allegedly committed. And if you've seen this, no spoilers in chat.
The evidence you shall give the court and jury in the trial of this issue shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God.
Yes, ma'am. Step this way.
All right, good afternoon.
Afternoon, Judge.
Mr. Dean.
Is that it?
I was corrected, Mr. Dean.
Sorry.
Could you please introduce yourself to the jury?
My name is Corporal Cody Jeffson. Working with the Chatham County Police Department right now.
And how long have you been with the Chatham County Police Department?
Is he saying Jeffson or
About
Jefferson?
Over 6 years.
And what is your current assignment at
Jeffson.
Chatham County PD?
Just basic routine patrol.
When did you join the police department?
Chatham or just in general?
Well, were you with any other police department before Chatham County?
I started with Savannah Chatham Metropolitan Police Department back in October of 2016.
And is that before the Savannah Chatham Metropolitan Police Department split into the Savannah Police Department? And the
Correct. It
Chatham
was still
County
at a merged department at the time.
Police? Okay. So after the demerger, you went with Chatham County Police?
A few months after the merger, went over to Chatham County PD.
Did you serve in the military before joining the police force?
I did, sir.
And can you tell us your branch of service?
I was in the Army.
And what was your military occupational specialty?
Eater.
Cavalry
Food
Scout,
eater.
which is basic reconnaissance, 2-3-man mission teams, go out, seek, and inform.
And what years were you on active duty in the Army?
From 2003 to 2015.
Sometime not too long before you joined the police.
Yes, sir.
what's your current assignment? Did you say what watch you're on?
I'm on the routine patrol division on Alpha Watch on the west side Chatham precinct.
Alpha Watch is the same thing as A Watch?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And is that essentially the day shift or something like that?
It's just the call sign in general. You have 4 watches: Alpha Bravo, Charlie Delta, and it's just signed to Alpha Watch.
What hours do you typically work?
5:30 to 1700 on day shift, and then to 1800, and then 1730 to 06 on night shift.
Okay. What particular beat are you assigned to?
It's on numerical basis, and I'm in beat 7, which pretty much goes from Ageechee Road near 516 all the way up to the Berwick area.
All right, we have to go through all the the background stuff here. Not the most exciting testimony, but it's laying a foundation.
Does beat 7 include the Gerard Buckhalter neighborhood?
It does, sir.
I'm not saying Gerard, right? Is it Gerard or Gerard?
Everyone pronounces it differently. Gerard, Garriard.
Like Vordaer. Some fools pronounce it Vaudier.
I'd like to draw your attention to October 5 of 2022, specifically the morning of that day, okay?
Yes, sir.
Were you working in beat 7
Yes,
Alpha
sir.
Watch that day?
Yes, sir, I was.
And did you respond along with Sergeant Stewart, Officer Voss, and Officer Cornley to a missing child call at 535 Buckhalter Road?
Yes, sir.
Now, you guys didn't all arrive in the same vehicle, did you?
No, sir.
But did you all arrive at substantially the same time, like within a few seconds of each other?
Sergeant Stewart was on scene first, and then myself and Officer Voss arrived right around the same time, and then Officer Gormley came a short time after.
Now, were you present in the driveway for the defendant, Ms. Simon's initial statement to Sergeant Stewart about what was going on and why they called the police?
I came in right around that time, yes, sir.
Okay. And did Sergeant Stewart task you out with looking in the house for the child?
Yes, sir, you did.
And did you do that?
I did.
Can you describe how that played out? What did you do?
After being tasked to go look around the house, I went inside with permission from I believe the boyfriend at the time, or the brother, one of the two.
Up on the screen right now, it states Exhibit 3, Slide 2. Is that in the orange reflective vest there, the gentleman who gave you permission to search the house?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyway, go on. I'm sorry to interrupt.
I was in the backyard or back patio area. Asked permission to go inside the house, which he granted. And then after that, went in, and then basically on the first entry, just went through the downstairs area.
And did you find the child in the downstairs area?
No, sir.
Did you ever go back in the house and look anywhere else?
Yes.
And can you tell us about that, please?
When we went back in the second time with Officer Gormley, we conducted a downstairs and upstairs search through all the bedrooms, closets, just the basic go around the house.
Now, when you were looking in the house on these 2 different occasions that you're talking about, what were you looking for?
Just for any signs of the child, diapers, anything that would kind of lead us to, or sounds to lead us to where a child may be.
First and foremost, you were looking for the child.
Now, for those of you that are wondering, I see her mentioning it here in chat, so I'll just show you what, whilst you were all listening to the horrifying opening statements in the first officer's testimony last week, Megan was doing an art project. Megan Fox here in chat. She was giving us her vision, her view of the prosecutor, and this is what she came up with. That's what Megan sees when she sees the prosecutor here. She sees this. So just in case you were wondering, just that's Megan Fox there. That's what she's saying. Yeah. And ooh la la Pat, all the way from Paris, France, says if it's based on French, yes, it's Vaudier. Yes, it is based on French, but the French also, not only do the French pronounce Vordaer wrong, they also pronounce croissants wrong and things like that too. But we won't make too much fun of you. Ooh la la Pat. Just remember it's Vordaer and croissants. Just leave it there. All right, let's get back to this.
Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. Now, at some point, did the fellow on the screen here in the orange reflective vest give you a picture of the child?
Yes, sir, he did.
And why was that?
I think we've
Just out
injured
of
Pat.
basic necessity, so we can give out to other officers,
Sorry.
PIO for the department, just a basic description of what the individual looks like, basic appearance.
And you mentioned the PIO. Is that the public information officer?
Yes, sir.
And what would she do with a picture of a missing child?
I can't put it on social media for others to see.
See if anybody had seen it
Yeah.
around?
Yeah.
Okay. At some point, shortly after your initial arrival, did you approach the defendant and ask her for a clothing description, what the child had been wearing the last time that you'd been seen?
Yes, sir.
And did she give one to you?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember what she said?
It was a Sesame Street pajama top, and then I believe like a blue gym style shorts.
Okay. And did you have a body worn camera on that day?
I did.
And did it record that interaction
Yes, sir.
and your other involvement at the scene?
Yes, sir.
When you arrived initially,
Mhm.
and she approached Sergeant Stewart and gave this initial kind of blast of information.
Yep.
She said something to the effect of the door having been open, right?
Yes,
Did
sir.
you go and look at the front door to see what it looked like?
I did.
And at some point after doing that, did you go ask for her, the defendant, for some clarification on what the exact state of the door was at the time that she woke up and saw it open?
Yes, sir. I did.
And why did you go ask her for that clarification?
Just further knowledge, see if it was, really basically if it was kicked in, broken in, how was it opened, if it was locked, unlocked.
Did you see any of that stuff in the door frame, any damage or anything like that?
I did not, sir.
Okay.
Everything appeared as a door should be.
And other than
Were you saying the door looked like a
those
door?
interactions with the defendant and searching through the house, what was the remainder of your involvement at the scene? What did it consist of?
So after the basic 15, 20 minutes there, did the two searches of the house. I was tasked to walk on search around the wooded area. Can't remember the cardinal direction. Pretty much behind the property and the wood line there going towards Veterans Parkway.
Did you find anything back there?
No, sir, no signs of any disturbance or evidence.
And were you eventually released by Sergeant Stewart or Lieutenant Foster to resume your normal patrol duties?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I'd like to approach with what I marked as State's Exhibit 4 now, please.
All right, what are we going to be looking at here? Got to be careful because the last time
Are you seeking to admit that?
Law and Crime had free reign with showing us what they were introducing. We got to see a picture of the child's skull. So, okay, it's a CD, good.
I've just handed you a disc marked as State's Exhibit 4. Does that disc contain your body-worn camera footage from that day?
Yes, sir.
And how do you know that's what's on it?
Review the footage and then signed, initial, and dated.
And does the footage on that disc fairly and accurately depict the events that you were involved in at the scene that day?
Yes, sir.
Does it appear to have been altered or modified in any way?
No, sir.
Your Honor, I would offer this as State's Exhibit 4.
Objection, Your Honor.
It's admitted.
She looks like someone or something that I just can't put my finger on. It's been bothering me for a couple of days now. I don't know what she reminds me of. Oh, it's time for the 2-minute struggle session.
Excerpts, Your Honor. The first
Oop.
will be on the timestamp in the top right corner of the file from 09:58 and 2 seconds. And I will note for the record when I stop the playback, it's about 20 seconds.
What was your son wearing?
He was wearing Sesame Street, like the Toddler shirt, I'm wearing black shorts. And my kids shorts.
All right. So I think I asked you earlier about the clothing description, and I recall you saying blue shorts. Having watched that, do you want to
Yeah.
revise that answer?
Yeah, it was the red or black shorts.
Red.
I mean, I'm not with colors just in general, but yeah, it was gym style shorts.
Okay. The next bit that I will publish is starting at 10:02.
Okay. Now I got a problem with Mr. Prosecutor here. The parts that we're going to publish are this, and then he scrolls through and shows the jury all the stuff they're not going to publish. Now, come on.
53.
Of course, it is just people standing in the lawn, but still.
Now, how open was the door? It's about what?
Open enough that I see that open eyes and see that
I've stopped the playback at 10:03:14 per the timestamp. One moment, please, Your Honor.
All right, is he going to?
Mr. Hilliard.
That's it?
Officer Jeffson, how long were you on scene that day?
All right, that's all the questions they have for this officer. His whole purpose to be there on the stand was to say, "Is this your body cam footage?" Yep. Are these the people that you captured on the body cam footage? Yep. Now let's see what the defense does with him. And it's probably what he's actually saying. Her Lord, how long you and that?
I don't know an actual full-time amount.
Just best guess.
I don't believe no more than an hour,
So you just out there for an hour?
give or take.
Okay. And again, but while you were there for that hour, you conducted 2 searches of the houses and at least 1 search of the woodline, correct?
Yes, sir.
And when you said you searched in the house, did you go through the entire house?
Me and Gormley kind of broke it up. So I personally didn't go through every inch of the house. But he took a little bit, I took a little bit.
What was the part you took then?
Live with the downstairs. I mean, it was a maze to begin with. So some of the downstairs, most of the downstairs, I'm not really too sure. And then a few bedrooms on the upstairs and closets.
All right, well, let's talk about the downstairs. The front door that you walk in is I guess that's the one that's facing Buckhalter Road.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And when you walk in, you immediately see the couch, the TV screen, and all that area, correct?
If you're walking in, you have the crib right next to the door. Then to the left, the couch, and the TV on the other side. Yes, sir.
And if you walk further back into the house, does it go back around to another part of the house?
Yes, sir.
And does it come around to the back side of the house?
Eventually.
And how's that laid out? Is it a maze or?
Yeah, it was a complete maze on the inside. I know they're doing construction, so there was walls everywhere that kind of made you go left when you go right, kind of thing.
But let me ask you this. But I'm going to assume it's a normal house, right?
Yeah.
It has windows. And
Yes, sir.
the front door is not the only door, is it?
No, sir.
And was there another door?
The back door.
And where does that back door go to?
To the pool back patio area.
Okay. And was that back door unlocked or open?
It was the door. It was open. It was unlocked, yes, sir.
Okay. And whenever you went and I guess worked your way through the downstairs, did you notice anything of any importance?
At the time, no, sir.
That's
Any
vague.
contraband?
No, sir.
Any weapons?
No, sir.
Any, I guess, biological material?
I didn't see any, sir.
Okay. So, and you went through and searched the house twice, correct?
Yes, sir.
What?
You go upstairs and search as well?
Yes, sir.
And I assume-
What's the point here, counselor? The question is not whether you found any weapon. The question is, did you find a 20-month-old baby? That's the question. All this other crap is just pointless.
you went outside and searched the outside areas as well, correct?
Yes, sir. In the woodline.
And were you the only one searching or were there other people searching too?
There's a few of us. Are you talking about inside or outside?
Both.
I know me and Gormley did the inside. I can't say if anyone else came in looking after us. And then on the back, there's several officers looking through the woodline.
Okay. And again, I know you're only there for a short time, but I'm just talking about what you saw. But there were a number of officers searching both inside and outside. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And is it safe to say that over that period of time, as time wore on, more people came or?
Yeah, more people officers came in.
So the numbers of people walking around doing the searching and in and out of the scene increased over the time you were there, not decreased?
Correct.
If you remember, and if you don't, that's fine too. Had the forensic tech showed up yet or no?
No, sir.
Okay, so these are all officers, correct?
Yes, sir.
But not forensic technicians or people who are trained to collect evidence?
No, sir.
That's all the questions I got. Thank you, Officer Jeffson.
All right, thank you. Mr. Dean, any redirect?
One moment, please.
Thank you.
guess what he may have been getting at on that cross-examination was that they were all wandering through the crime scene before any
No further
forensics people
questions.
got there. So perhaps a
Any reason why
tainted
this witness
crime scene.
Cannot be excused.
There you go.
Okay, you're excused.
No, Your Honor.
Thank you.
This right here.
Maybe that's what he's going for.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Before we call the next witness, is everybody good?
We're all good. We're all good, Judge.
I think I needed a break too. So,
Nope, Judge
let's
gotta take a
break for
pee.
15 minutes. It's 3:15. Let's be back at 3:30.
All right. The judge needs a comfort break. So we'll skip ahead here. And while we're skipping ahead, let's see, we got nothing to read. So let's skip ahead and continue. Scrolling. Keep those wagons scrolling. Rawhide. There we go. Oh, she's back up again. Hey, Swan Lake lady, how you doing? Looks like one of your bosses. How's your mom doing? Hope she's recovering well from her surgery. Give her my best. If you're not listening, Mom, give her my best. If you are listening,
Is
Mom,
there only one in there?
hey,
Okay.
get well soon.
I know. That's still pushing it.
All right, come on, Jerry, hurry it up. Double time. Oh, she's got the razor. I don't think she had the razor stripes in her hair there previously. She thinks she done got her hair did there. She got the racing stripes put in.
I think everyone needed that break. And
Nope,
Mr.
just you, Judge.
Dean, the statement call its next witness.
Sean Wilkins.
Sean Wilkins.
Raise your right hand.
Who or what is Sean
You have an
Wilkins?
interest in the court and the jury, the trial of this issue should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. So, yeah.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Could you please introduce yourself to the jury, spelling your first and last name?
Sure. My name is Sean Wilkins, S-H-A-W-N. My last name is Wilkins, W-I-L-K-I-N-S.
And what is your city and state of residence, sir? Where do you live now?
Currently, I live in Uxbridge, Massachusetts.
Did you travel down here for this trial?
I did, yes.
And where are you from originally?
I'm from Uxbridge, Massachusetts originally.
Okay, so you've gone home.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What do you do for a living these days, sir?
I'm currently employed as a public safety officer for Bryant University.
Okay, and is that in Massachusetts?
That is in the state of Rhode Island.
Okay, got it. Were you previously a police department with the Chatham County Police Department, or a police officer with the Chatham County Police Department?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what were the years that you were with the Chatham County Police?
If I recall correctly, I started in March of 2021 and ended in July of 2023.
So you've since left the department and moved back to your hometown?
Yes, sir. That is correct.
Okay. During your time with the Chatham County Police Department, what assignments or positions did you hold in order, if you can remember?
Yes. So I started off as a patrolman, graduating the academy. After about a year of service, I applied to the CID, the detective division, and I was granted the position, I believe, in late September of 2022. And then I went back to patrol in February of 2023, where I remained until I left.
Now, you said the detectives division has an acronym CID. What does that stand for?
Criminal Investigations Division.
Okay. So you mentioned you got to CID as a detective in, I think, September of 2022.
Yes, sir.
So as of October of 2022, were you working for the Chatham County Police Department as a detective?
Yes, sir, I was.
And did you, on the morning of October 5th, 2022, respond to a missing child call at 535 Buckhalter Road?
Yes, I did.
And when you got there, did you conduct an interview with the defendant, LEILANI Simon?
Yes, I did.
And do you see her sitting in the courtroom today?
That I do. Yes,
Oh, so he was the questioning
Identify her by an
officer.
article of clothing or where she's sitting, please.
she is currently in the table to the right of you, sitting down with the glasses on right there.
witnesses identified?
She looks like a hedgehog. That's what it is. She's got kind of a
Now, were you
hedgehog
first
face.
on the scene for the detectives?
I was, yes, sir.
Okay, so you were the first detective to arrive there.
That is correct, yes.
A bunch of other police officers, but you're the first.
It sounds rude,
Yes.
but that's what she reminds me of.
And when you got
Hedgehog.
there, what was the first thing you did? Did you walk right up there and start talking to her, or did you get some background, or what?
No, I did not. At first, when I arrived on scene, I believe I was briefed by Lieutenant Foster, just giving us a short synopsis of what the call was about. And then I would say approximately 5 minutes after that is when I engaged in a conversation with the defendant.
Maybe a young George Lazenby. I was thinking more like Bruce
Now, I'm
Campbell.
displaying on the
but oh well.
screen a slide from State's Exhibit 3, and I think it is slide 12, although the number's kind of difficult to make out. Do you see yourself in that picture?
Yes, that is me.
That's you wearing the dark color jacket?
Yes, sir.
And is that Lieutenant Foster to your left in real life, but to the right in the photograph?
Yes, sir. That does appear to be Lieutenant Foster.
Now, would this image reflect the approximate time of your arrival at the scene and getting briefed by Lieutenant Foster?
Yes, sir. That is what appears to be happening. Yes.
All right, so going off of the timestamp, what time would that have been?
The timestamp reflects 10:44 a.m.
Does that sound right to you?
That does, yes.
Okay. And you said it was only maybe 5 minutes after this that you spoke to the defendant.
I would say so, yes, sir.
And where was it that you talked to her?
If I do recall correctly, I had gone through the back gate to where the defendant was at the time.
Are you referring to the swimming pool area, patio area in the back?
Roughly.
Okay. Who was out there at the time?
I would say the defendant, her brother, Mr. Paul, and her fiance, Mr. Daniel.
Okay. Did you separate the three of them to conduct your interviews?
I did, yes, sir.
Okay. And did you ultimately end up talking to all three of them on the scene?
Ultimately, yes. I did at one point or another speak to all three, yes.
Okay. Well, I want to ask you specifically about your interview with the defendant. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Did you ask her when the last time she had seen her child was?
That I did, yes, sir.
And what did she say to that?
If I recall correctly, the defendant explained that she had gone to bed at approximately midnight that evening. And yes, that is approximately midnight that evening.
And was she putting that out there as the last time she had seen her child, Quentin, I should say, the missing child, sometime before she went to bed at midnight?
Yes, sir. When I had asked that question, I believe I did ask if she remembers putting Quentin down at that time. Yes.
Okay. And did she tell you when she had woken up in the morning?
I believe she explained that she woke up at 9 a.m. that next morning.
So in this initial interview with you, the first detective on scene, she's putting herself in bed around midnight. Last time she saw Quentin was before that, and has herself waking up at 9 a.m.
Yes, sir. That is correct.
Was your interview with the defendant audio recorded?
Yes, I did use an audio recording device for our interview on scene.
Did you have a body-worn camera at that time?
I do not believe I did at that time, no.
And is that because detectives didn't have body-worn cameras at that point?
Not normally. We did not wear body-worn cameras normally in our uniform.
Do you see in front of you a disc marked as State's Exhibit 5?
That I do. That is correct.
Okay. And do you know what's on that disc?
I believe it is that audio recording from that morning with the defendant.
And have you listened to the contents of that disc, at least in part, to verify that that's what it is?
Yes, sir, I have.
Okay. And does that recording fairly and accurately depict your interview with her at the scene?
Yes.
Your Honor, I would move this into evidence as State's Exhibit 5.
No objection, Your Honor.
Exhibit 5 is admitted.
And Your Honor, at this point, I'll publish a brief portion from the beginning of this recording. I'm going to start at the very beginning of the recording, and I'll state for the record when I stop the playback.
So when's the last time you saw your child?
When I went to bed last night.
And what time was that?
It
Do
was
you remember?
around 12.
12? Okay.
12 when I went to bed. I had my wisdom teeth removed yesterday.
I'm sorry, that's it.
So I went to bed kind of late.
I get you. Listen, I had them up too.
So I got up this morning about 9.
About 9?
And my front door is open, so I went up and I shut it, not thinking about anything like that. And I look over and check on my kids, and he was going, all the rest were there.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Take some deep breaths.
That was actually a 34-second clip that I cut out of the larger file that was admitted, and I'll make it clear for the court reporter and the clerk at some point on a break what portion of the larger file was actually played.
No issues, Judge.
Okay, thank you.
Now, did you go to headquarters that day for follow-on interviews with involving the defendant, Daniel Youngkin and Paul Simon?
Yes, I did. That is correct.
And were you paired up with an FBI agent to participate in these interviews?
I was, yes.
And do you remember who you were paired up with?
I do have my report here. If I could look at that just to remember the name.
Sure, if that would refresh your memory.
Yes, I was paired up with FBI Special Agent Taylor Burns.
And who did you all interview of the three?
The defendant's brother, Paul.
Okay. Now, sometime over the coming days, were you asked to submit a request to Verizon for phone records associated with a phone number for a Henry Bubba Moss Jr.?
Yes, I was.
And did you do that?
Yes.
How did you do that?
There is a paper form that we were sent by the cell phone carrier in which I fill out the identifying information, such as the name that the number is registered to, the actual phone number, and I believe a time frame in which the records that we are requesting are needed.
And did you submit that request to Verizon?
Yes, I did.
And did they produce responsive records to you in response to that request?
Yes, sir, they did.
How do they give those to you? Do they mail them to you in the mail or email them or what?
I believe it was an email, sir.
Okay. And when you got those records, did you forward those to the lead investigator, Marion Lemons, who's here in court with us?
I did, yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. One moment, please, Your Honor.
All right, they're just going through the introducing the evidence,
No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Hilliard.
Just a few.
getting it all in there. Who did what?
Mr. Wilkins, how long have you been in law enforcement?
I was employed as a police dispatcher in Holliston, Massachusetts for approximately 3 years. After that, in 2021 is when I was employed with the Chatham County Police Department for about 2.5 years.
So from like 2018 to 2021, you're a police dispatcher. I guess you
John
moved
Byrne
in
and
here
Chad.
and were
Patrolman at that time.
patrolman at Chatham County.
Yes, and then transitioned to detective role in September of 2022.
And you were a detective from September and then went back to patrol in February?
That is correct, yes.
I was just curious. That's kind of a short time. Why?
I just didn't feel fulfilled, I guess, at in the detective unit.
So, and then when did you move back to Massachusetts?
So I left the detective unit in February of 2023 and was on patrol. And then I would say in July of 2023 is when I moved back to Massachusetts.
All right. So you've been up there about 15 months, a little bit more at this point in time.
I think that's fairly accurate.
You said you had a conversation with Ms. Simon at the patio area. And I believe Mr. Simon was there, Paul Simon was there, and was anyone else present?
I believe the defendant's fiance at the time, Daniel, was there. I don't remember how close in proximity he was, though.
Any children there?
What was that? I'm sorry.
Any children there?
I can't recall.
Okay. How about any other adults?
There were a few adults. I think I talked to them sparingly after the interviews with the three, but I can't recall their relation to the defendant off the top of my head.
And how long were you on the scene that day? We're talking October 5th, correct?
Yes, sir.
How long were you actually on scene that day at 535 Buckhalter Road?
From my arrival at 10:44 in the morning, I believe we didn't leave, if memory serves me correctly, maybe 5 or 6 p.m. Again, that's a ballpark estimate, though.
So at least 7 or 8 hours.
Roughly, yes, sir.
And when you did leave, my understanding is, and I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, just trying to make sure I understand, but when you did leave 7 or 8 hours later, it was to go to the police station and conduct interviews, correct?
Yes, sir.
Right. So it wasn't like you just went home, you were there for 7 or 8 hours, and then you went and did an interview, correct?
No, sir. There was no downtime between leaving the scene and going to the station.
And that's kind of what I was getting to. Now, while you were on the scene for those 7 or 8 hours, was it an increasing number of people that were arriving on the scene?
I would say more resources had arrived on scene in an attempt to find Quentin at that time, yes.
So the number of people kept going up during that 7 or 8 hour period.
Yes, sir.
And to the best of your knowledge, was this all of your involvement in the case, to the best of your recollection?
Outside of my initial on-scene interview with the defendant and the interview with Paul Simon, and what Mr. Dean had asked me of the cell phone records. In terms of major involvement, yes. After that, I was moved to more of a supportive role, where I was just there to help as a body mostly.
Well, let me ask you this. On the day that you were there on October 5th, did you conduct any of the searches on the house or anything like that while you were there?
Not any of the in-depth searches to my recollection. It was the interviews, conversations with the other detectives that had arrived on scene, and then the interviews shortly after.
That's all the questions I got. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Dean.
No further questions.
Ooh, and to add to the Megan Fox, this guy is really Superman conspiracy. Which, of course, again, that's Megan Fox's vision of the prosecutor. His name is Mr. Dean. Dean Cain played Superman on TV. And, so add that to the conspiracy.
All right. May this witness be excused?
Yeah.
Yes, Your Honor.
You may step down.
And while she's excusing the witness, the very first super chat of the day came from Matilda in the Netherlands, saying good afternoon from the Netherlands.
The statement
Good
calls
afternoon
this
to you,
witness.
Matilda in the Netherlands from Korea.
Kiana
Thank you so
Robbins.
much for the first €2 super chat of the day. John Byrne, the creator of all of our emojis in chat. Good to see you again. And Island asked, are defendants allowed to be medicated? Sometimes I wonder if she is calm and if her calm is artificial. Well, if they have prescribed medication, they take them. They can't just drug them up. They can't just go, here, have some sedatives. That's that would kind of be illegal. If they have their prescription, they're allowed to have their medication. So all right, we are ready to go with the next witness.
In the trial of this issue shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes.
Officer Whom.
All right. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Could you please introduce yourself to the jury, spelling your first and last
Nate
name?
the lawyer.
It's Kiana, K-E-I-A-N-A, Robbins, R-O-B-B-I-N-S,
And where do you work?
with Chatham County Police Department.
What is your position there?
Currently a detective.
How long have you been with the Chatham County Police Department?
6 years.
And did you work with any other police departments prior to starting with the Chatham County Police Department?
No, sir.
What assignments have you had at the Chatham County Police Department before becoming a detective?
I was on patrol for 3 years.
So that would put you joining the detectives roughly
January of 2022.
January of 2022.
Yes, sir.
Now, were you on duty as a detective on the morning of October 5th, 2022?
Yes.
Where were you and what were you doing?
I was at the Islands Precinct, located at 54 Johnny Mercer Boulevard, in our detective's office at my desk.
Now, is that a ways away from 535 Buckhalter Road?
Yes, it's about 30 minutes, give or take, 45.
Is that where your office is located?
Yes.
Islands Precinct?
Yes, sir.
Is that where all the detectives' offices are located for the department, or are y'all spread out?
That's our main office. We don't have any other offices at any other precincts.
Okay, so the CID offices, if I'm understanding you correctly, are in the Islands Precinct on Johnny Mercer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, did you become involved at some point that day in the investigation of the disappearance of Quentin Simon?
Yes, sir.
Did you go to the scene yourself that day, 535 Buckhalter?
Yes, sir.
When roughly did you get there?
Around 6 o'clock, I believe, that evening, after getting a search warrant signed.
Okay, so you didn't go there till the evening, till after the search warrant was signed for your residence?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, earlier, before that, were you nevertheless still involved from your desk at the Islands Precinct?
Yes, sir.
And at some point, were you asked, or did you just decide to run the defendant's name, LEILANI Simon, and see whether there were any vehicles registered to her that you can see in your system?
I was asked by the detectives on scene.
Okay. And how did they ask you? Over the radio, cell phone, or what?
Through text.
Okay. So who was on the scene at that point and have asked you to do that, if you remember?
I believe it was Detective Noble and Detective Wilkins.
Okay. So one or both of them asked you to run her name and see about vehicle registrations?
Yes.
And did you see that any particular vehicle was registered to her?
I believe that there was a Dodge Journey registered to her.
Do you remember the tag number for the Dodge Journey?
Yes, it was TEN9300.
And is that a Georgia tag?
Yes, sir.
One moment. Now, do you see in front of you a document marked as State's Exhibit 6?
Yes, sir.
Do you know what that is?
It appears to be a license plate reader from Flock.
Okay, a flock camera?
Yes, sir.
All right. Does it fairly and accurately depict what a typical flock camera looks like?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I would move this into State's Exhibit 6.
No objection, Judge. I've already seen it.
It's in it.
And may I ask, rather than putting this up on the screen, if it could just be published by passing it to the jury?
That's fine, Judge.
And would the court
Yeah,
like
John
to
Byrne,
read
you're
that
right.
before the
Other
court?
people have said that too. I think that's closer. He looks like Jamie Dutton from Yellowstone, like a lot.
Just a single photograph.
It's just one picture, Judge.
I forgot about that.
Thank
So Megan, there's a reason for you to watch Yellowstone. The prosecutor looks like one of the characters.
Now, what is a flock camera and what is the flock system?
So essentially, it's a license plate reader that is stationed throughout different areas throughout the U.S. The Flock system is made only public to law enforcement agencies, so you have to have a username and a password through your agency to actually use the system.
And did you have that on October 5th of 2022?
Yes, sir.
Roughly how many of these cameras are there scattered around Chatham County? Off the top of your head, I'm not looking for a firm number.
About 300.
Okay. And do you have access to the information from all of those?
Yes.
Do you have access to information from flock cameras in other places?
Yes, sir.
How does that work?
So essentially what it is the agency, say if we're here in Georgia, an agency in California can put us on their permissions list. And then what we can do is just add it or do what we call a hot list, which means say if there's a vehicle that you're looking for, if you have the tag, you can put it in the system and then it'll alert those individuals who
So
are
for
on
those
the hot list.
that didn't
So I
know
would have
that the
to say,
Flock camera system,
me,
it's a
Zelle,
system of
the
cameras
owner
that
of the hot
recognize,
list, I can
read,
add
and
you as a
report
user
your
to
license
see
plate
what,
numbers.
the vehicle and where it hits at.
So she
Now,
said, we're
what
looking
is-
for
what do
this
the
license
cameras
plate
do
number.
when a car drives
They
by?
triggered in
In a
anytime it goes
license
past
plate
one of those
number,
cameras, it will tell you where it is.
It just takes a picture of the
They're
license plate and
watching.
the back of the vehicle.
Okay. And are those images maintained in the flock database that you have access to?
Yes, I think they hold for about 30 days.
Okay. And does it tell you the location of the camera that took the picture?
Yes, sir.
And you can see the picture itself?
Yes, sir.
Does it tell you the time that that picture was taken by that camera?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have the ability to, after the fact, search for a particular tag number in the flock database and see what, if any, cameras in the area or in other locations that you have permissions for, the vehicle's tag has been photographed by?
Yes, sir.
And once you had this tag for the defendant's car, Georgia TEN 9300,
Yes, sir.
did you look it up in the flock system?
Yes.
Okay. And you're doing this on October 5th, the morning of, right?
Yes, sir.
And did you see any results of note to you?
Yes, it showed that the vehicle hit multiple times from the late night of October 4th until the morning of October 5th.
All right. And so you were able to look at this and see, gosh, it looks like this car has been out driving around.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, with that information, did you relay that to officers on scene?
Yes.
Who specifically do you remember relaying it to?
I contacted Lieutenant Foster.
Okay. And was he the on-scene commander at this point?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. And you told him, hey, I'm seeing flock hits late at night for this car.
Yes, and then I sent him a screenshot of my computer screen of the multiple hits on the flock camera
And how did you send that to him?
through text message.
Okay. Had you just taken a picture of your computer screen with your phone? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And sent that to him?
Yes.
All right. One moment, please, Your Honor. You mentioned going out to the residence after a search warrant had been obtained for the residence.
Yes,
Who obtained that search warrant?
I did.
What do you have to do to get a search warrant?
You have to get the information you need from the detectives or whoever's on scene, essentially type up the search warrant and then submit it to your supervisor. The supervisor then approves or rejects it. Once it is approved, you would reach out to the judge who's on call or who's available. And then at that point, you send them the warrant. Once they find probable cause, and they'll sign it and then send it back to you to file gavel.
I'd like to approach with what I've marked the State's Exhibit 7. Your Honor.
Yes, Fleck is flock, not flop. It's flock, not fleck, flop. Fleck, flop,
All right,
fleck,
could you take a look at State's Exhibit 7?
flock.
please?
Something.
Is that a copy of the search warrant that you obtained for 535 Buckhalter Road on October 5th?
Yes.
I would introduce this in a State's Exhibit 7, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
You can make it.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Did you hear you?
Just one or two, Judge. Detective Robbins, you secured the search warrant and you looked at the flock camera, and that was pretty much the beginning and end of your involvement in the case?
For the most part, yes, sir.
And did you ever respond to the scene that day or no?
To 535 Buckhalter?
Yes.
Yes, that evening around 6 o'clock p.m.
Okay. How long were you there?
Up until maybe 8 or 9, and then I went to the West Chatham Annex, which is where our property room is located.
That's all the questions I got. Thank you.
All right.
Redirect.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. You are excused.
That's it. She got the camera. She got the flock camera. They're just plowing through these foundational
Let me
witnesses.
call its next witness.
Eugene Foster.
Eugene Foster. Eugene Foster.
Keep the clerk and raise your right hand, please. The evidence you shall give the court and the jury trial position should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you. Thank you. Step this way, please.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Could you please introduce yourself to the jury, spelling your first and last name?
Yes, my name is Eugene Foster. My first name is spelled Yujean. Last name is Foster, Foster.
He's
And
Korean.
your city and state of residence, sir?
I currently live in Statesboro, Georgia.
And what do you do for a living these days, sir?
I'm a retired police lieutenant, and I am currently working full-time at International Paper.
What are you doing for International Paper?
I'm a chemical operator.
Okay. And when did you retire as a police officer?
March of 2023, I retired.
And was that from the Chatham County Police Department?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any side jobs now in addition to International Paper?
Yes, sir. I guess I didn't have enough to do, so I work part-time at the Chatham County Sheriff's Office as a police instructor.
As a police instructor?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What kind of topics do you instruct on?
I'm a level 3 instructor, so pretty much any topic out there I can teach. I teach driving, use of force, firearms, defensive tactics, legal issues, everything.
Now, at the time that you retired from the Chatham County Police
Yes, sir.
Department, how many years of service did you have as a police officer?
Almost 27 years.
And what departments were those almost 27 years spent with?
Oddly enough, in '96, I started with the Chatham County SO. And then,
The Sheriff's Office?
yes, sir.
Sorry to interrupt.
the Chatham County Sheriff's Office. And then I laterally transferred to the original Chatham County Police Department. And then we merged with the City of Savannah Police Department, which became the Savannah Chatham Metropolitan Police Department. And then in 2017, we had demerged, and I went back with the Chatham County Police Department.
Now, I don't necessarily want to ask you about every assignment that you held during your career as a police officer.
Yes.
I'm guessing it's probably a lot of different things, correct?
Luckily, I was able to do various things.
Did you have, I guess, any experience as a detective specifically?
Yes, sir. For over 7 years, I was in detectives, and I was I was in auto vehicle theft, and then I went to violent crimes. I was in robbery, homicide, and during those 7 years, and I was also
need to give
for a
the
short
dogs
period of
water.
time
I'll be
in
right
an
back.
undercover unit.
And was that with the Savannah Chatham Metropolitan Police Department?
Yes, sir.
Violent crimes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Dealing with robberies and homicides?
Yes, sir.
So you've been a detective before and did it for quite a while.
Yes, sir.
All right. On October 5, 2022, were you working?
Yes, sir. I was.
And what was your position and assignment at that time?
I was the West Side Watch Commander for the Chatham County Police Department.
And who was your immediate subordinate in that role?
At that time, it was Sergeant Bobby Stewart.
Okay, so it goes Sergeant Stewart, and then next up the chain of command was you, Lieutenant Foster.
Yes, sir.
Did you at some point that morning respond to 535 Buckhalter in response to a missing child call?
Yes, sir.
Now, you were not the first on scene, were you?
No, I was not.
Who else was there at the time that you got there? And I'm not asking for names, just broadly speaking, who was there, what was going on?
The initial officer was there, which again, I'm not sure which one it was. I'd have to go back and look. But Sergeant Stewart was already on scene. And when I got there, he started briefing me on what he had already initially found out.
So you show up and you get briefed by Sergeant Stewart. At that point, do you become the senior man on scene, the on-scene commander?
At that time, yes, sir.
And did you, the story that was given initially was that the defendant had woken up at around 9 and the front door was open, right?
That was what I was initially told. Yes, sir.
Did you take a look at that door?
I did.
Can you tell us what you remember about that door, if anything?
I remember actually checking the function of the door and actually opening it and closing it. And I realized that it wasn't something that was easily opened, and it wasn't necessarily a door that was quiet per se. When it opened, it made noises.
Are you describing like kind of a sticky door that you have to pull hard to open?
It required a little bit of,
open, whatever the case may be?
yes, sir, it required a little bit of force.
Did you have any contact with Detective Kiana Robbins? Well, not necessarily at the scene, but while you were at the scene, did you have some form of contact with her?
Yes, sir. If I remember correctly, I got a phone call from her. And while I was trying to assess everything and trying to allocate resources to potentially figure out what happened, I got a call, at which time she told me that the defendant's vehicle was seen on the flock camera the night before, going down Ageechee Road and then coming back down Ageechee Road.
Now, did you do anything with that information once you had it?
Yes. Once I found that out, because I think when Sergeant Stewart briefly told me they had said that they had went to bed at a certain time the night before, I went back to her because then just kind of got a little feeling. So I went back and I asked her. I said, at any point, did you ever leave the house for any reason? And then she told me no twice. She said, no, never left. I said, okay. I said, could maybe, maybe went somewhere or anything? She said, no. So
Yeah,
once
she
she told me
lied.
no, that kind of threw up another flag for me. I became concerned about that. And I remember talking to her in the backyard or back porch area. And I asked her, I said, could anyone, you sure you didn't leave the house? And then she said, oh, wait, I do remember I went up, I don't recall the address. It's the convenience store right in front of 4711 Ageechee Road, which is the state mobile home park. She had said that she went up there to get some Orajel. And she said that she went up there and then she tried to show me her phone. And she said, matter of fact, I went up there at such and such time, and it's in my report, and I came back, and I was back.
Yes, for those of you that did not catch the opening statements, apparently she said, I never left my house. And then they said, but we have proof you left the house. I went up to the convenience store to pay off a debt to my drug dealer. I owed my drug dealer $20. I owed my drug dealer $80, but it turns out she'd send him $20 on a Cash App. So she went to the convenience store to Cash App her drug dealer, was her story. And then later they said, well, that doesn't really pan out either. You went up there to get some Orajel, did you? Well, they don't sell Orajel there either. Then I had to meet my friend. I had to meet my friend who she had Orajel because they didn't have it at the store. So they went to the friend, and the friend said, hell no, I ain't seen her in months. To which the defendant allegedly explained, of course you wouldn't remember meeting me in the convenience store parking lot at 1:30 or the apartment complex parking lot at 1:30 a.m. because she's on crack. So yeah, that's what he's talking about here.
Back home at about 1:25. And the odd thing, because I remember asking her, could anybody have possibly followed you home or anything like that when you left? Because you're claiming that somebody came and took your child. Could somebody have possibly, maybe your ex-husband, somebody? She said, no, and that's when she told me about the Orajel. The concerning part about that to me was I've worked that area close to 27 years. That convenience store has never been open past midnight.
Oh yeah, I'm serious.
Now,
I'm serious.
did you as a lieutenant have a body-worn camera on that day?
No, sir. It wasn't required not by our policy for me to have one.
And is that because, I guess as a lieutenant, you're not typically the one out there making first contact with a complainant or a suspect? So you just don't need it like a patrol officer does?
Correct. I'm usually after the fact.
Okay. But in any case, this last conversation that you're referring to, wherein she gave you the Orajel, the Chevron Orajel story or the convenience store Orajel story, was that captured on somebody's body worn camera?
I believe on one of my officers' body cameras. Yes, sir.
Do you see in front of you a disc marked as States Exhibit 8?
I do.
Do you know what is on this disc?
This is the body-worn camera video of, if I remember correctly, APO Courtroom.
Okay. And does that particular excerpt that's on that disc capture the exchange that you just described? Asking her again, hey, you sure you didn't go anywhere last night? And her telling you about this trip and giving you the story about what it was for. Is that what's on there?
It is, because I think APO Horman was back there with the family when I came up. He was already back there. And I had asked her, I said, in any way, did you ever leave the home the night before at any time where somebody could have followed you back home and possibly come and took your child? And she said no. And then that's when she came and advised me of the incident to go get Orgel. And that's when she showed me her phone, tried to show me her phone where the track of her phone, where she went. And,
She showed her
told me
arms where
exactly
the tracks
she came
were.
back home and she was looking at her phone and she told me 1:25 a.m. I was like, okay.
Now, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
No.
When you had this exchange, whether it's captured on Gormley's body cam, this was on the patio in the back pool area?
Yes, sir. It was actually on the back patio, back porch area right next to the pool.
And was it, the defendant was obviously there because she's the one that you're talking to, right?
Yes, sir.
Was her boyfriend or fiance, Daniel Youngkin, there?
He was, and I believe so was her other children were there.
And what about her brother, Paul Simon? Is he there?
There was a family member. I don't know exactly what his name because I don't remember talking to him. So if that was his name, that it may have been. But I do remember there was another male family member there.
And what was Gormley doing? I mean,
How do you not remember talking to a guy named Paul Simon?
He was standing with him because I believe at that point I had already instructed the officers to research the house again, looking for Quentin, just to make sure that maybe he wasn't hiding anywhere or anything of that nature for this type of cases, just to double check.
Okay. And for that, at this point, did you want these 3 people out of the house so the scene would be secure?
Basically, I had everybody who was in the house that was there out just to have the officers go and look for the child.
Okay. And Gormley's back there just kind of keeping an eye on the 3 of them?
Correct.
Okay. Your Honor, I don't know whether I've done it yet, but I would introduce this into evidence as State's Exhibit 8.
Mr. Hilliard?
What is it, Judge? I guess it's the Gormley's body cam?
Yes.
No objection, Judge.
Okay, it's admitted.
May I now publish this, Your Honor?
All right, we'll fast forward here while he gets himself sorted out. She looks confused. Like, hey, what's going on here? There we
Tell
go.
us what.
Back to this.
Before I play this, can you tell us what? Now that we've got this up, can you tell us to the minute what time this exchange was at?
12:12 in the afternoon on the 5th of October.
Thank you.
10 patients or so. Did y'all go anywhere last night or yesterday with Craig? Maybe he could have followed you or something like that? Y'all didn't go anywhere? Maybe you yourself.
Yeah, I know. I took a triple yesterday, so I went to the board. That was it.
2 o'clock yesterday afternoon?
No, like morning, wise, and I couldn't go to sleep.
Okay, so where'd you go?
Around the road right here, that Chevron. And my friend that I used to work with, she got ordered because they didn't have any extra pay when I home.
Okay. Did you go anywhere else? Have you maybe been home? So when did you get home?
I can tell you exactly.
Yeah, we have,
Was it even 2? I was on 125.
125?
So I was gone for literally 12 minutes.
And you went where?
Right up the road to next to that Chevron.
Oh, 40, over here on, right here on.
Right up the road, because I used to work at Bojangles. So I had a girl named Missy that.
I got a bar over for the Cayman. Okay, give me just a second. Yeah.
I had a girl named Missy that I used to work with that dental problems as well, so I got contact with her and asked her if she had ordered because I called several kids, so they didn't have any.
Okay, did you notice anybody following you or anything?
I don't know.
Did you go back out at all anytime at the time?
When I did get back, there was a car, which is why the lady mentioned it, whatever. I was thinking that maybe the car was for people across the street, but it was another little gray car sitting out front of the house.
Okay.
So I was thinking it was for across the street with the neighbors. So I don't know.
So you said you got home about 1:30?
Yes, it's 1:25 a.m. is the exact time that I got on my phone for almost 12 minutes.
Okay, all right. Nobody followed me, right?
No.
Yeah, they're just going to ask you about.
You mentioned earlier, and I want to make sure I heard you right, that there were, but before she told you about this trip that one, whatever it was, that she had previously, she had given a time that she went to sleep, that she had given a time that she had woken up. And I think you said that she had twice told you that she didn't leave the house, didn't go anywhere during that time window. Is that right?
That's correct.
Not once, but twice?
Correct.
Now, are those statements captured in this exchange, or are you talking about some other statements she made to you earlier, not captured on camera?
There was another, and I believe when I first got there, I asked him what happened. And I believe that's the first time when she told me what time they went to sleep. And then on this time, I asked again, after I had gotten a phone call from Detective Robbins, where they told me that her vehicle was seen on the flock camera system. That's when I went back to her and said, did you ever leave the house? And as soon as I approached her with it, the first thing she said was no. And then next thing you know, she said it, she shook her head again, and then she went, oh, wait a minute, the origin.
Now, I want to move forward in time, long after October 5th, but into later in the eventual landfill search that was a part of this investigation. Now, were you a part of the landfill search?
From the very beginning.
And what was your role or roles, I guess?
I had multiple roles. We were there to set up the initial site to start the search of the trash that was there. I was there prior to us starting the search. We were there getting equipment. Logistically speaking, I was there to make sure the equipment was there, resources, fueling the vehicles, making sure water was up there, bringing food. I mean, I was kind of a jack of all trades on that.
Were you involved in ensuring that there was enough PPE for all the searchers?
Yes, sir. I was part of that along with another individual from the department. We ended up setting up all the PPE in order to make sure everybody was safe while they were going through this potentially biohazardous material.
I'm sorry.
PPE is personal protective equipment,
I was there every
like hazmat suits and Tyvek suits, things like that.
We would honestly, we literally, myself and another lieutenant showed up prior to everybody showing up. We were there at 5 o'clock in the morning, and we did not leave easily until 5 in the afternoon, 5:30 in the afternoon. And the only time I actually left is when we had a uniform security, a uniformed police officer coming to do security of the landfill site after hours.
Tell me about the after hours security plan at the landfill.
We usually traditionally broke down about 4:30, 5 o'clock to clean everybody up, decontaminate everybody. And then once all the searchers were bussed out, I was the last person there waiting for the relief uniformed officer to come there and sit on the site. That way we had security there at the site 24/7. Somebody from the police department would have eyes on that site 24/7 from the time that we started to the time that we ended.
And are you talking about the entrance to the landfill on Little Neck Road, or are you talking about inside the landfill at the search area specifically, or both?
But there was security at the entrance of the landfill, but that was done by the city of Savannah because that was their area. The actual site where the volunteers and the people who were assigned to the search was actually done by Chatham County Police personnel.
Okay. Was the area kept well lit at night?
Yes, sir. We actually had floodlights that came on. The officers were instructed to turn them on when it got dark. Sometimes when we were still there, I would have them turned on before the officer even got out there.
And what was the point of all this?
So we could have visibility of the area at all times. That way there would be no chance, any way, shape, or form, that area could be contaminated by somebody other than the law enforcement searchers who were involved and police personnel. And of course, waste management personnel that were allowed to be there.
Now, did you pull that overnight security duty yourself at any point?
Unfortunately, a few times I had to, yes.
And what did that involve for you?
Basically being in a marked unit, being in a uniform, sitting there, looking at the landing where the trash was brought to, I hate to say it that way, but trash was brought there to be searched, and looking at the site where they were actually pulling from to bring down to the landing. We had all that lit up to where you could actually see the whole thing.
Do you remember, were you present on the day that Quentin's remains were finally found?
Unfortunately, yes, it was.
And what were you doing at the landfill that day? What were your duties on that day?
Again, based off of the logistics part and setting everything up and all that, while we were there and they were searching, we were actually stationed by, and every time something of significance was found, they alerted us. And then
they searched for about 6 weeks. Many people literally going through this area of the garbage dump. Scrap of garbage by scrap of garbage, looking for pieces of a 20-month-old child's body. Oh my God, I feel horrible for these people.
They would bring whatever certain items that they found and took it over to the forensic anthropologist to review.
And was that the last day of the landfill search?
Yes.
Overall, how many days would you say that you were out? You may not remember off the top of your head, but roughly how long did this landfill saga last for?
I remember it was it after previous Thanksgiving? I think approximately 4 weeks. It was a very extended search.
Now, we've heard testimony from Sergeant Stewart and maybe to you from some degree that initially, the initial response to the scene on October 5th,
yes,
that there were search efforts focused in the house and in the areas around the house, the wooded areas, bodies of water, and so forth. Is that a normal protocol, the normal protocol for a missing children's call?
Yes, in the event that we don't immediately find the child. When I was there, I was the incident commander, so we were figuring out what happened from the initial story that we got, just to make sure that we covered all our bases and everything that happened. We initiated a further search pattern out that I had to coordinate, and we started getting volunteers. We contacted SEMA. SEMA got involved. A lot of resources were brought in to try to attempt to locate little Quentin.
Now, when we're talking about young children, the missing child call pertaining to a young children, is it fair to say that the typical situation is the child is just eventually found nearby, either in the house in the closet or something like that, or in the woods 50 yards away?
Luckily, in my experience, very few times have we had a situation where, for an extended period of time, that we lost a child. A lot of times, in situations of children this young, they're usually hiding somewhere. Not to go off tangent here, but I mean, we've actually had one where the child was sleeping under a bunch of blankets, and that's when we ended up finding them 30 minutes later. But they usually are found within the house or within the immediate area of the house relatively soon. Luckily. Unfortunately, in this case, it didn't end up being that.
Now, Sergeant Stewart has testified that one of the first things he did when he got there and got an initial statement was simply send a couple officers into the house to look for Quentin. Based on what you've just told us, does that seem to you to have been a sound approach, at least initially?
Yes, sir, because traditionally when a child is lost, usually the parents or family members are hysterical for the simple fact that, I can't find my child. So they tend not to search as well as a reasonable-minded officer would when he comes to the scene and knows what to look for. So yes, that is a normal protocol. Well, let us check the house. Maybe we'll find them. And that's what was initially done.
One moment, please, Your Honor.
That's interesting. The people involved are often too frantic and just start, running, willy-nilly around the house looking at stuff. Whereas police tend to be more methodical.
Lieutenant Foster, how many people were searching at the landfill over the course of that 5 or 6 week period?
Easily between 20 to 30 a day.
And so let's say how many days? 45 days, let's say. So 20 or 30 a day times 45 days. That's a lot of people, isn't it?
Correct.
Okay. In and out. And that's not counting everybody else who's coming in and out of the landfill in normal routine business, correct?
Correct, but the majority of the searchers were the same.
I don't think I had a question before you.
Oh, shut up, you dick.
I'm going to ask that the witness be allowed to complete his answer.
I don't believe
There wasn't a question.
So, Mr. Hilliard, I'm going to ask that you move on.
Yeah, okay. Prosecutor's being a dick. Sorry, the defense lawyer's being a dick. There wasn't a question before you. See, now he's trying to paint this picture that there was a bajillion people stomping through the crime scene where the body was found, contaminating it. People coming around in business. All the cop was trying to say is, yeah, but this part of the section was cordoned off, so only the workers would be there. He's like, yeah, no, I don't think there was a question. He's being aggressive, unnecessarily aggressive. And what we heard from the judge was her essentially saying he wasn't wrong, but move on, defense lawyer. So it's like, yeah, just he was technically correct with what he was saying. There wasn't a question, so the lawyer the witness shouldn't respond, but move on, lawyer.
Correct, but the majority of the searchers were the same.
I don't think I had a question before you. Did I?
Objection, Your Honor. I'm going to ask that the witness be allowed to complete his answer.
I don't believe
There wasn't a question.
So, Mr. Hilliard, I'm going to ask that you move on.
So, Lieutenant Foster, so there was, I'd say, easily hundreds of people in and out of that place during this time frame, correct?
Not hundreds, no.
Not during the course of these several weeks?
Not hundreds, no.
Okay. Thousands in?
No, not thousands.
So if you had 20 or 30 people a day times 45 days, okay? So the same 20 or 30 people every day?
Majority of the days, yes, sir.
Okay. But not every day?
Not every day, no.
Okay. So it was different people?
Sometimes.
Okay. So that being said, this is a dump, correct?
It is a dump.
And you have a number of people coming in, conducting normal business, and you have a number of people coming in, conducting searching, correct?
Correct.
Is that a fair and accurate statement?
That is fair and accurate.
Okay. And you said a minute ago that you didn't think that you were trying to protect against contamination at a dump site with all these people in and out of it.
Correct.
Is that genuinely what you just testified to?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Now, that being said, at 535 Buckhalter Road, how many people were there on October 5th?
My entire west side, so we're talking 6 to 7 officers, my sergeant, myself, and then once we really started doing the search, command staff, federal authorities. But as far as going into the house, it's pretty much my officers, myself, and then the investigators that I know of.
So I guess it's a fair number of people that day, at least.
Correct.
Okay. So now we just watched this little bit of video right here. You asked a question, but what the question that you asked, because that was you asking the question on that video, correct? That wasn't Officer Gormley.
Absolutely.
Right. So it was Gormley's cam, but it was you asking the question, right?
Yes, sir.
And the question that I heard was, you asked if she went anywhere with the kids, and she said no.
Okay.
Okay. Was that the question that you asked?
I asked both. I mean, did you go anywhere? And then I asked, if you watch it again, I asked the second time, did you go anywhere with the kids?
Right.
And she first said she didn't go anywhere. No, was the answer no. And then I asked if she went anywhere with the kids. She said no.
Right.
And then, if I recall correctly from a few minutes ago, she said that she had to go get some orange.
Right. But this was at noon on October 5th, if I'm not correct. Correct?
Yes.
So, now, and I didn't understand because it was a little confusing to me, so correct me if I'm wrong. Mr. Dean then asked you if there was a prior statement to this, or if this was the statement that you were referring to. And I wasn't really sure what your answer was. Is this the statement that you were referring to when you said you had asked her if she'd went somewhere?
Yes, this is.
Okay, so this is the statement. There wasn't some earlier statement. It was this statement, correct?
There was an earlier statement when I initially got there. I, of course, looked around to see where the baby was sleeping and things of that nature. And from what Sergeant Stewart briefed me on, because I asked what time.
I'm not asking you what Sergeant Stewart said. I'm asking if it was your question. If you asked the question earlier.
Yes, sir. If you let me finish, I would tell you. Then I spoke with her,
Right.
and spoke with her boyfriend and asked some relatively same questions. Well, what time did you go in? When was the last time you saw him?
All right. Well, let me ask you that. You said you asked for boyfriend. So did you ask her boyfriend or did you ask her? Those are two different things.
Both. They were both.
She said her and her boyfriend.
That's my question.
They both did.
So, Mr.
Pay attention, defense lawyer. Pay attention. He said her and her boyfriend.
The boyfriend answered.
The boyfriend answered and gave me what time he last saw the child, and she also gave me an answer of when she recalled last seeing.
Okay. But that was the only other prior statement that you were talking about.
That I am involved with, correct?
Okay. That's all the questions I got. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Does the state have any redirect?
No, Your Honor.
Yeah, James, that's kind of the path he was going down there, wasn't it? All right, that is the end of that testimony. And real quick here, we've got about 40 minutes left. We currently have 407 people watching the Georgia v. LEILANI Simon trial. We're in the afternoon of day one, just about getting ready to start day two. And we currently have 262 likes, so about 150 of you haven't done your job. Get down there and hit that like button. This is the midstream grift, babies. Come on, hit the like button if you haven't already done so, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. This is what we do. We cover trials and other legal things here. We'll be doing this until it's done, so probably another 2 weeks maybe on this. And take our like and subscribe poll, which is just our little like and subscribe poll to interact with you and to remind you to do the YouTube-y things of liking and subscribing. Why are you watching this trial? So far, 5% of you say because the prosecutor is a smoke show. 10% of you say because of the subject matter. 22% of you say because you are a trial junkie. And 63% of you say because you are showing it. Aw, thank you so much. Such a loyal crowd of people. Thank you very, very much. Hit the like and subscribe buttons, folks. And we've only had the one super chat of the day from Matilda. So nothing else to read here before we get on with it. But if by some odd chance super chats do come in, we'll read them appropriately. And Sonia or Chris gets a super special thanks for unlocking the emotional support potato pig dogs right out of the gate. So, hey, what's up, Boosh? Boosh McFadden in chat. What's up?
Mr. Dean, as to your next witness, the witnesses thus far have been relatively short. Are we still in that vein with the next witness as well?
I think the next witness is going to be, I'm notoriously bad at predicting how long, but I think longer than any of the previous witnesses. So I'll leave that information to the court, and the court can plot the way forward.
Okay.
I think she's going to end it maybe.
I'd like to take up some housekeeping and timing issues. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to allow you to take a short break. I'm going to ask you to step into the jury room while we talk about scheduling.
Okay.
Oh, thank you, Deputy Solomon. Everyone, please have a seat. So, we're at 4:40. I know we want to get as much done as we can. I'm concerned that if we start with the next witness, it may take some time. We can either break a little early and attend to any other things that we may need to let the jury go, or we can push through one more witness.
I'm fine with taking a break, Judge. I'll be quite frank. I'm biased because I have a little bit of a headache. So
I get it. And it's been a long day, but it's been a good day. So we're going to go ahead and break. We're going to start back up in the morning at 9 o'clock.
All right, we will use that as our cue to bail out of that and bring up day 2. So right now, folks, we are going to be starting day 2 of the Georgia v. LEILANI Simon. Again, if you joined us late, she is charged with 19 crimes involving the murder of her 20-month-old child. We're starting day 2 here. Let's fast forward.
To get started. While I am doing this, please bring out Ms. Simon. Marie Simon. Let the record reflect that Ms. Simon is present at counsel's table with her attorneys, Robert Hurst and Martin Hilliard. The state is represented by AUSA Tim Dean and Assistant District Attorney Jenny Parker, as well as Detective Lemons. Is the state ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is the defense ready to proceed?
the defense is ready, Your Honor.
All right. The state may call us first. Well, we might want to have the jury first. We got to
bring the jury in. Yeah, and J6, just a little reminder to anybody else, keep the politics out of the chat. People will make up the people. There's actually not that many Americans watching right now, first of all. And it's a very divisive topic, which we just don't really need to worry about here. I would appreciate it. No harm, no foul. Just would appreciate it moving forward. Oh, she's got some cool glasses on today. She's got the pink frames.
Welcome back and good morning. Thank you all for being on time, and I could tell by your looks you are ready to go. I will ask you, has anyone discussed the case with anyone, viewed any media?
We're all discussing it on Legal Vices,
done any
my
research
channel.
in this matter? Okay, and there's a resounding no ma'am from everyone. So with that, we're going to go directly back into the evidence. The state may call its next witness.
Phillip, Shanker.
Ooh, rocking the salmon colored shirt. That's definitely not pink. That's definitely salmon colored. But he's kind of standing out in the courtroom, isn't he?
Yes.
All right, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, sir. You ready to begin?
Yes, sir.
Could you please introduce yourself to the jury?
Corporal Phillip Shanker with Jackson Franklin.
And how do you spell your version of Phillip?
PHILIP.
And could you spell your last name, please?
SCHENKER.
You were a police officer with the Chatham County Police, you said?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been with the Chatham County Police Department?
Officer Phillip Shanker.
7 years.
And what positions have you?
Okay, is this the clone of the last of 2 witnesses ago? Is this the same guy? Did they just recycle him and put him on the stand again? Right? Is this guy a twin? Is he a clone of 2 witnesses ago? Come on now. You can't be putting clones on the stand. But it would be really helpful, prosecutor, if you would please speak into the microphone.
During your time.
Patrol officer and crime scene unit.
Crime scene unit, you said?
Yes, sir.
Are there any other terms for that unit that people use?
Forensics.
How long have you been with the crime scene unit or forensics unit?
A little over 2 years.
And what is the role, broadly speaking, of the crime scene unit or the forensics unit?
There must be collect and preserve evidence and crime scene.
Okay. Now, on the morning of October 5th, 2022, did you respond to 535 Buckhalter as part of the larger police response to this missing child call?
Yes, sir.
About what time did you arrive?
I'd say approximately around 11-ish. Not 100% sure.
And were detectives present already at the time that you got there?
I believe so.
Now, who from the crime scene unit or the forensics unit went out to the residence that day?
Myself, my sergeant, Sergeant Coleman, Corporal Shiro, and Officer Dickens.
What was the initial purpose of you all going out there?
Our initial purpose was to put the drone up to assist with searching the missing child.
And did that happen?
Yes.
Now, eventually, in your time there that day, did you document photographically the residence and surrounding area?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you tell us about how that unfolded? When you took pictures and what the pictures were taken of? We're going to go through some of them, broadly speaking.
Initially, when I got there, I was advised that there may be blood on a pillow inside the house, so I went inside, took pictures of the pack and play in the room, and then I backed out, and then we put up the drone for a little bit, and then later on that night, I took overall photos of the outside of the residence and the inside of the residence.
So there was initially a period shortly after your arrival where you took a few pictures of the pack and play.
Yes, sir.
And then you backed out.
Yes, sir.
And took many more photographs later.
Yes, sir.
And was that after a search warrant had been obtained for the residence?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How many pictures did you take total, if you remember?
A lot.
Would it refresh your memory to look
Yeah,
at
let me
the
look at
report?
this real quick. On that day, I took 475 photos.
In the course of taking those photographs and walking around the residence, did you have an opportunity to examine the front door?
Yes,
Did there appear to be any signs of forced entry or anything like that?
there did not.
Did you see anywhere in the house any obvious signs of a struggle?
I did not.
Do you see in front of you an exhibit marked as States Exhibit 10?
I'm sorry, what did you?
States Exhibit 10?
Yes, sir.
Could you leaf through that and tell us what that is? You don't have to necessarily look at every picture.
This is the photo from the first day.
Is that all of them or just this selection?
Okay, so he's going to be part of the show and tell.
Going off the number here, what is the total number?
This is the part of the trial that I always call the show and tell portion, where they introduce all the photographs and the guy or woman who took them. Did you take this photograph? Yes. Is it an accurate depiction of what you saw that day? Yes. Why don't you publish it, introduce it to evidence, etc., etc., etc. This is the fun job.
Images. Look at the last page.
114.
All right, now, do those images fairly and accurately depict the residence and the surrounding area as you photographed it that day?
Yes, sir.
Do they appear to have been altered or modified in any way?
They do not appear to be.
Your Honor, I would move States Exhibit 10 into evidence at this time.
Having reviewed it, Judge, no objection.
And I would ask you to publish this exhibit to the jury. Thank you. All right. Now, this is photograph number 1 of State's Exhibit 10. Can you tell us what this is?
This is a photo log. It gives our case number, the location signal, which is the crime or what we're responding to, who went to it, the date of it, and then the time approximately we arrived. We put this at the beginning of all of our photos, so you kind of get a summary of what you're about to look at.
Now, moving on to image 2, what is this?
This is the front of the residence. I'm standing on Buckhalter looking towards the front of the residence.
Now, can you see the front door in this image?
Yes, sir.
And where is it?
It's all the way to the left right behind the green chair.
Okay, is that what that is? There a green chair?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and is that like a little small patio area outside the front door?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Moving on to the next image. Well, let me ask you this: are there any other doors on the front?
There are no other doors on the front.
Were there any doors on the sides of the house?
No, sir.
Okay. There are other doors on the back,
Yeah,
correct?
there's 2 in the back.
Okay. So 3 total exterior doors on this house.
Yes, sir.
Moving to image 3, where are we now? Where have we moved?
So I moved further down Buckwalter just to get a different angle of the front of the house and the side.
And 4, where are we here?
4, I am at the end of the property line, further, I believe it's west of their yard, looking towards pretty much the front and the back of the house.
Okay. Now, is that the driveway for 535 Buckhalter that you see there?
Yes, sir.
And where are we now?
Now I'm standing at the edge of the driveway looking into the backyard.
And there's a truck here, right?
Yes, sir. I believe that belonged to the son.
The son, you said?
Or brother.
Now, in image 6, where have we moved here relative to that last image where we were standing behind the truck?
I'm in front of the truck at the gate entering into the backyard.
And what do we see off to the right there?
There's a detached carport with an RV, a white truck.
I had forgot to light the beacon.
Were you referring to the white SUV more or less in the middle of the frame?
Yes.
Now, this next image, how have we moved or changed our position relative to the last image?
So I had just panned right and started taking photos of the fence line.
Okay, so you've made a 90-degree turn to the right, and this is just the front corner of the yard.
Yes, sir.
The next image,
I'm starting to pan left. You can see the carport on your left-hand side from the previous pictures.
and in image 9, still panning left.
Yeah, still panning left.
Image 10
Continue to pan left.
and image 11.
Image 11, continue to pan left. Just got some more vehicles in the trash cans and starting to get the side of the house.
Can you see my cursor on the screen, my pointer?
Yes.
All right. What is this here?
Those are 3 trash cans.
And what is that structure that they're appear to be sitting on?
It's just a wooden structure that they built, I believe, to keep the trash cans in.
All right, when you began taking pictures, were those trash cans closed?
Yes, sir.
Moving on to image 12, where are we here? What movement have we made? Where are we looking?
So I have made my way around. I am at the back edge of their property looking, now I'm looking towards the, I guess, back of the house, towards the street.
Okay, so you've just moved to the back of the property line and you're looking back the way you just.
The front of the house looks very nice and well-kept grass, but
Image 13,
except for the random stuff in the driveway there.
we're talking about kind of a side step.
The backyard just has that really scummy swimming pool and a bunch of
You
junk.
can still see that white SUV on the left-hand side of the frame,
Yes, sir.
and 2 other vehicles in the center there.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is this structure on the right-hand side?
That is a detached barn or garage.
The detached garage?
Yeah.
Okay, so far in terms of structures, we've talked about the house itself, right? There was the detached kind of carport with the RV in it.
Yes, sir.
And now we're looking at a detached garage in the back as well.
Yes, sir.
In image 14, where have we moved relative to the last image?
Further right, this is just kind of the side of the garage, and there's also a carport attached to that garage.
Is this the back side of the garage, the furthest side away from the house itself?
Yes, I'm still on the property line.
And what are we seeing there on the side of the garage?
2 trailers, a car, and some tools and ladders in the background.
Okay, so is there like a carport that extends off the back side of the garage?
Yes, sir.
And is that what that car is under?
Yes, sir.
Now, where are we here relative to the last photo?
And this guy's going to probably go on for a little bit, so I'll just interrupt here to say Lone Star Living dropping the $2 super chat, the second super chat of the night. It's a slow chat night, but that's okay. No worries. Checking in for election-free entertainment. That is right. This is an election-free safe zone. So welcome to the safe space. Let's continue.
The back property line, and then I guess you'd say the far right from where I'm standing. Property line looking
towards the street. The garage is on my left, and the house is a little bit further on my left.
So is it fair to say that relative to the last image, you just sidestepped further to your right, to where your right shoulder is basically along the fence that bounds the
Yes.
property? Okay. Now, what is that in front of us beyond the detached garage? What are we looking at there?
There's a pull up here, and those are a couple like fire pits.
A pool, did you say?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and a couple fire pits. And is that area where we're going to go next?
Yes, sir.
All right, what movement have we made here?
I just traveled down the fence line. Garage is now on my left. Pool's on my right. If you look at the bottom, you can see the fire pit.
Oh, I see. Is that what's at the
Yes,
bottom
sir.
of the frame?
So I'm standing right next to the fire pits, looking towards the detachable carport.
Okay, and then is that the RV we see off in the distance?
Yes, sir.
So essentially, you just kind of made a loop around the detached garage.
Yes, sir.
Moving on to number 17, what are we doing here? Just panning to the right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what is that area that we see on the other side of the pool from where we are right now, on the
that's
back
it.
side of the house? Can you just describe?
That pool is just awful. And isn't it weird? Isn't it weird that they have all these young children in the house, and that is a completely unsecured, wide open death trap of a scum pond? Ugh. These people.
That area there.
Look at it.
Oh, Nadara the Wholesome says, Jeff, are you voting for the douche or the turd sandwich? Well, we're not even talking about it. Thank you very much for the $2. Whichever one is who, we're not even talking about elections or anything or voting of any way, except we're voting in the like and subscribe poll. Thanks, Adara.
If you go towards you can see we call it a carport, attached carport. There's a little children's play area back there.
Children's play area?
Yes, sir.
Moving to 18, we just panned all the way to the right here.
Yes, sir.
Ugh.
And in 19,
You can't even see the third
what are
step.
we looking at here? That seating area
Yes, sir.
beyond the pool.
Beyond the pool. And the barn is behind you at this point. Or not the barn, but the garage.
Now, in image 20, where are you standing? Where have you moved now as you take this picture?
So I am underneath the patio and the little seating area, like right in the middle of the seating area, facing. I'd be facing the carport if that's a good point of reference.
All right, so you've gone across.
So this is picture 20, and if I remember correctly, it said he has 115 of them.
Yes, sir.
And this is the house on the right here.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned earlier that there is one exterior door on the front, none on the sides, and two on the back.
Yes, sir.
Are those two on the back visible in this image?
Yes.
Can you tell us where they are?
The white door on the right-hand side, that's the dining room door. And if you look a little bit further past it, there's a little dark area. That's the living room door.
Can you kind of step down and just point to where the living room door is? In this
Welcome, Aussie Overlord Raiders. Good to have you here. Please
Right
hit
on
that
that.
like and subscribe button.
I suppose,
Yes, sir.
on the right side.
Yes, sir.
And that opens into the living room.
Yes, sir.
Number 21, where are we here? What are we looking at?
I just moved forward. There's the dining room door would be to my right, and I'm looking into the
It's
play
the
area.
outdoor baby
So that's
jail.
part,
So I guess that would keep the kid away from the pool.
Part of the frame of the dining room door there?
No, that would
Or I mean
be.
the living room door?
Yes, sir.
Okay. 22,
Just inside of the play area, you got a couch, a little trampoline, slides, play or kid toys.
and 23.
This is from the back of the play area, looking towards the patio.
Okay, now, this area right here in the far side of the frame, is this up here the seating area that you were initially in?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what is this dark structure towards the top left?
It's like maybe a little bar.
It's the poolside bar because it's too far to take 4 steps into the living room.
Here, I have just moved over to the right a little bit. I'm kind of standing in front of that trampoline.
Oh my God.
Towards the doors.
Do people? I mean, is this can't be a Georgia thing? This has just got to be a them thing, right? In the hot, humid Georgia weather, you have a cloth couch outside, that would just be like a big moist sponge during the summer, wouldn't it? Oh, that would just be icky smelling and soggy wet all the time. Ugh,
To enter the home.
And can we see the living room door and the dining room door in this picture?
Yes, sir.
Right, living room door being the dark one towards the top center,
Yes, sir.
and the dining room door being the white ones off to the right.
Yes, sir.
Now, does that pretty much cover the exterior of the house?
Yes, sir.
The Skeeter sofa.
No, it's not unplugged.
This guy has the gingeriest eyebrows that ever gingered.
If there were a better place to plug it in than right at somebody's feet, we would do it.
Is it on that side?
Yeah, the Lone Star Living, that didn't look like any kind
Okay,
of
so
special outdoor
here
furniture.
we are
That
at the
just looked
front
like they
door,
moved
right?
the couch out into the out on the
And-
patio.
That was 25 and 26. We just moved a little bit closer.
Yes.
Okay. Now, before we're about to go into the house, right?
Yes.
Now, let me ask you this. You walk through that house.
Yes, sir.
How would you describe the layout? Where
Clustered.
a cluster?
I feel like that's the
Okay,
best
don't-
way.
Was it confusing?
It's very confusing.
Okay. Do you see in front of you an exhibit marked as States Exhibit 9?
Yes.
What is that?
This is, I guess, the internet layout of the home.
Now, you've been in the house. You've had the chance to walk through it. Other than where the front door is denoted as being on here, does that fairly and accurately depict the general layout of the first floor of this residence?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I would move this into evidence as States Exhibit 9.
Hey, Bernice, welcome. Thanks for popping in to say hi. Anadara the Wholesome says South Park reference, mocking it without addressing it, but we're not even mocking it or addressing it or referring to it. Thank you so much. Appreciate your understanding.
The door leading from the kitchen to the room, that door's not there.
Okay, well, let's do it this way. Can you step down? Well, I think you said there upper left.
Vicky Hat will be going for about another 15 minutes or
We're just
so.
gonna work through these rooms, starting.
Okay, the internet layout of the house. Something tells me it wasn't this clean and orderly when they went in. I don't know.
At the front door and going more or less clockwise. Okay. The front door, first of all, is labeled as being right here. Is that accurate?
No, that's a window.
All right. Is the front door kind of in the top right-hand corner here?
Yes, sir.
All right. When you walk in, what is this first room on the far right?
That's like a living room, bedroom area.
Okay. Now, you mentioned that there's a spot on here where it looks like there's a door from that room into the kitchen, but it is not in fact a door. Can you come down and describe what you're talking about?
It's the door that is not a door.
That is a wall.
Okay. Is it the case that when you're in that room that day, you cannot pass through there into the kitchen? Okay. And why is that? Just so I understand.
I guess they walled it off.
Okay.
Or it appeared to be walled off.
All right. Do you have something to write with in front of you there? And I didn't ask.
That house has a real confusing layout.
Can you, on that exhibit, can you just draw an X at the spot that you were just talking about? There's appearing to be a door, but not actually being a door.
Use this one instead, that's better. And just for the record, I handed the detective pen and I handed him a Sharpie because I think that would be better.
Thank you. All right, so.
It's a weird
how do you
layout.
get this room into the main body of the house?
From the front door, you have to walk through the whole room. From the front door, you have to walk through the whole room. Another door here, that leads to a bathroom.
So I mean, if you want to go down here where Yoda is, you have to go in through the front door up here, walk all the way down past the prosecutor's arm, around this hallway, and go into, I guess that's the dining room, walk all the way through the kitchen, go all the way up through the top, and then all the way down this hallway, and then into this other room, and then into the little bedroom. What the hell kind of layout is this for a house? That is weird.
Here you have to go through this door to go through the kitchen.
Yeah, exactly.
This door to hit or go into a hallway. And then
Look at that. That is weird.
stairs right here.
Okay, that's
Through
stairs.
another door to the main, or
Nope.
the master living room. And then
That's the living room.
Go to the master bedroom.
Can you do this with that chart that you have in front of you? Can you go slow, make sure you do it right?
I will say that is the weirdest layout for a house I have ever seen. So, seriously, I was going to say that Black Horse Cavalry. I hope like the master bedroom has like a piece of cheese or something at the end of this maze. So you have to go in through the top right corner, down to the bottom, over to the left, up the middle, around the kitchen, then back down towards the hall, and then up into the. Oh my lord! What a weird ass room.
Can you draw the path that one would have to take through the house to go from the front door? Not on the screen. Yeah, show us again on the screen and then draw the path, please. To go from the front door to the living room door.
Look at this.
Walk through. You got to go through this door, go through a bathroom, another door to go through the kitchen, another door to go through, dining room, another door to go through the kitchen, through a hallway, either upstairs to 2 bedrooms, or through another door to go to the master living room, and then another door to go to the master bedroom.
What about the living room door?
Living room doors right here, and then the dining room doors.
Right. So let's just take a moment. Can you, on the paper exhibit, can you draw a path from the only path, as you described it, from the front door to the living room? Not the dining room door, not upstairs, but the living room door. All right. Now, so you said bed, front door, top right, bedroom, bathroom, dining room, kitchen, hallway, living room, master bedroom, right? Sure. Okay. I want to ask you a couple things, and I'm doing this because the pictures are a little confusing, fair to say.
It seems my camera USB has come unplugged.
Where are the sinks?
Let me work on this.
So coming from the dining room, you will have your stove and your oven right here on your right. Your sink right here, refrigerator right here, and you have a little pantry here. There's a pass-through window leading into the hallway right here above the sink.
Thank you very much.
Well,
All right, with that, we can get back into the images, okay? All right. 27, where are we standing as this picture is taken, and what are we looking at?
so I am at the doorway looking into the room all the way down the far left wall.
And what's in the foreground closest to us?
There's a couch, and then, or I guess that was a kid bed too.
Say again?
A child's bed.
The child's bed is where?
The couch.
Okay. And what's just beyond the couch?
There is a baby swing. Beyond that is a desk, and then there's a bed in the far back corner.
And what is that to the right of the bed?
Dresser.
28.
Hey, there we go. Hi.
To the last image.
I just hand right a little bit. You'll see the dresser, the full dresser. There's a closet door, and then another kid bed on the right hand side.
29.
Pan right a little bit more. You'll see the kid bed, a dresser, a projector screen.
Now, Barton Bella says, Jeff, a lot of towns in the South were built around companies. They built small homes to sell to workers, and as the companies left, people moved out and others bought them and expanded. See, I was looking at this and thinking this kind of would make sense, but if you look at it from the outside, it just looks like a normal house. It doesn't look like, they joined 2 houses together, or it doesn't look like they expanded. It looks like it was built this way, which I don't know, whatever. It's just a weird layout.
Have been on the previous picture.
The door that you mentioned as having been walled off and not operational, that's behind the projector screen.
Yes, sir.
And then 30.
That is the pack and play that I mentioned earlier.
31.
The pillow inside the pack and play,
Oh, it's a dirty pillow for a child to be asleep. Oh my God, there's blood on the pillow.
Now I'm going to zoom in on this picture a little bit.
Oh, what the hell?
Do you see that substance there?
Yes, sir.
Please don't be
Did
blood.
you get a good look at it while you were out there?
I did, sir.
Please be strawberry jam.
What, if anything, did it appear to you to be?
I believed it to be vomit.
Did it appear to be blood?
It didn't.
Okay.
It's a lot redder in that picture than it actually was.
You're saying it's appearing redder on the screen than
Yes,
it,
sir.
than it actually was when you were out there?
Yes, sir.
Did not appear to be blood?
No.
Oh, good. It was just appeared to be pink vomit. Oh, good. I mean, that's terrible. Just pink vomit on a pillow, but it's better than being blood, I guess.
33, another picture of the same.
Another picture. The blanket is out because we searched the packet play after the picture.
Now, let me actually go back. Okay, so in 34, where is that pink blanket?
Or on 34, it's on the, I guess they call it the rail, the side.
Now, I want to go back to, pardon me, to 31. I'm on 31. Where's the pink blanket in this picture?
It's inside the pack and play on the pad.
All right, so we've got some pictures where the pink blanket is in the pack and play and some where it's on the rail.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us when it was moved and why?
It was moved due to, or I guess it was moved when we were looking for, see if there's any blood on the inside the pack and play.
Okay. So,
And then we just moved it to look at the blanket itself and to look at the mat.
okay, thank you. Did you have gloves on when you did that?
Yes, sir.
Moving on to 35, just another view of the pack and play after the blanket.
Yes, sir.
36, same.
Same.
All right, 37, where are we here?
My back is towards the back and play, and I'm looking towards the bed in the far left corner.
So you're essentially standing at the pack and play here.
Yes, sir.
38,
38, I just pan left, same spot.
39,
39, pan left. You can see the front door in the left side, the couch, and then there's a safe and a projector on the window back there.
40,
Lady B, welcome to the Clean and Sober crew. Lady B, our newest member. Thank you so much for the support. Appreciate it. Glad to have you as a member.
Pan left, front doors on the right, pack and play, and the projector screen. Continue moving to the left.
43,
And while they cycle through these here, Adara the Wholesome says, take this. Don't give it to that damn Loch Ness monster. Thank you so much, Adara. And Lancelot 652, member for 4 months. Thank you for the support. They have their own backyard mosquito breeder. Yuck.
45,
Yeah, there's
that's
probably an alligator in there.
I guess the entrance into the rest of the house. That's the bathroom right there. You can see the dresser right there on the left-hand side.
all right, and then what is this through that door that I'm,
Just a little
Highlight.
storage cabinet.
all right, that's inside the bathroom?
Yes, sir.
46,
Pan to the left a little bit more. You can see the bed now.
Adara says, I should stop donating while sick, delirious, and tired. No, keep doing it. Don't let me stop you.
48, I am by the bed and the dresser looking into the bathroom.
49,
Starting to take photographs into the bathroom. This is the little storage cabinet from the previous photos.
and is that on your left as you walk in?
Yes, sir.
50,
Starting to pan right. That's the door leading into the dining room. You can start seeing the shower bathtub on your right.
All right, this is where we will end today. With they said there was about 115 pictures to go through. So tomorrow we'll pick up at exhibit number 51 or picture number 51, and get through the. So this is probably the most boring part of the trial. It's the most boring part of any trial. It's that's why I call it the show and tell portion of the trial. It's where they have to put all the pictures on. They have to bring everybody in, and they took the picture and goes, are these the pictures you took? And what is it? Explain this. Here's the number. Let me get rid of this here and stack us there. That's what I wanted to do. So bear with us. This will probably take another 30 minutes at the beginning of the show tomorrow. Oh, young black economist just got here at stream over. Yeah. It's that time. We hit the 2-hour mark. Sadly, it's time to put aside this horrific case until tomorrow, but we will be back at 8 a.m. Eastern U.S. time and 1 p.m. Yeah, 1 p.m. UK time, where we will pick this up where we left off. Again, right here at the show and tell portion, we have the photographer getting on. He's just like, here's the 115 pictures. I took 475, but I'm going to introduce like 115 of them. And he's on item number 50 now. So once we get through with him, they should start to pick up. And yeah, I apologize. It's not the most exciting testimony, but it is very foundational. It gives you a look at what was going on inside the house, what was going on in the property, what it looked like, where they searched, what the conditions were. So it's not like I'm putting the trial on. I don't know why I'm apologizing for it being boring, but that's what it is. Just dawn. So this is our new start time. No, it's I guess it's your new start time. It's my same start time. 10 p.m. Korea time every day. We don't do the time change nonsense here in Korea. 10 p.m. is always 10 p.m. all year round. None of this forward and backward stuff. So yeah, for the next 6 months, this will be pretty much everybody's time zone. Everybody's time zone when we start. Occasionally, if I have some things to do, we might start an hour later, but this is it. Welcome to standard time, people. You got that summertime blues going. James Olin says the time didn't change. Well, are you in one of the good places where the time doesn't change? Because it's changed. Changes almost everywhere. Korea is one of the lucky places that doesn't change. Yep. All right. Let's see here. Let's see where can we send you today? Where are we going? Where are we going to send you to here? Let me take a peek. Oh, there we go. Ozzy Overlord says, "Hey peeps, with Law Racks' permission, little lady Overlord and I are doing a daddy-daughter grift stream in about 7 hours. We're raising money for her school for a new playground. Hope to see you there." Well, everybody should get on over there. Everybody should get on over there to Ozzy Overlord in about 7 hours and help his daughter win. Help her get the most. She has a nemesis. There's an arch nemesis at the school that she has to get more donations for playground equipment than the other person. So help Ozzy Overlord out with that. 7 hours. It'll be over there on his channel. Just search for Ozzy Overlord. You can't miss it. Let's see. Searching here. Where are we going with this? No, I don't, Flux. I do not end early. I end exactly when I'm supposed to, which is right now. Hang on here. We're looking at live. I'm looking at where we can send y'all off to. Who is streaming at this point? Lots of trial live stuff. Romance novelists. What's that? Lots of mystery science theater things. I will send you on over to the lead attorney, who is streaming that apparently 2 of the YSL trial people have rejected plea deals. 2 YSL defendants reject plea offers and demand trial. So the YSL stuff may not be over. Woot woot. So we'll send you on over to lead attorney, and you can enjoy him. Woo. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We will pick this up tomorrow where we left off at item number 51 in the show and tell of the photographic evidence from around the house. And thank you, mods, for being here. Thank you so much for Sonny or Chris. Thank you so much for Matilda, for Lone Star Living, Adara the Wholesome, Lancelot 652, and Lady B, who generously supported the show throughout today. And thank you very much for those of you that are just here chatting along with us. Let's see how we ended up with our poll real quickly here. Why are you watching the trial? 4% of you said because the prosecutor's a smoke show. 9% of you said because of the subject matter. 22% of you said because you're a trial junkie. And 65% of you say because you are showing it. Thank you very much for the loyalty and for the support. Appreciate that. And that's it. Thank you very much, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Go on over and tell lead attorney hi. We will see you later tomorrow. Same time. Bye, everybody. Let me stick an outro video on here. Bye, everyone. See ya.